The season has changed, but London is holding its breath. Something is coming, something whispered in silk, hidden behind gloved hands, and carried through ballrooms before a single word is spoken. London wakes slowly, as it always does before a new social season. The streets are calm, but behind closed doors, everything is already moving. Curtains are pulled back just enough to let the morning light in. Footsteps echo through long halls. Dresses are lifted from their covers, and mirrors reflect quiet thoughts no one dares to say out loud. This is not just the start of another season, it is the start of new choices, new hopes, and new risks. In every grand home, hearts beat a little faster. Some are ready to be seen at last. Others fear what this season might reveal. The air feels different, heavier, as if London itself knows that things will not remain the same. A look held for too long, a letter never sent, a promise waiting to be broken. All of it begins here. Before the music plays and before the doors open, the town will soon gather again, dressed in beauty and tradition, smiling with perfect control. But beneath the calm faces are questions that refuse to rest. Who will rise this season? Who will fall? And who will dare to want more than what society allows? The rules are clear, but hearts are never so obedient. As the first invitations are prepared and candles are lit, one truth becomes impossible to ignore. This season is not about what is expected. It is about what has been denied for far too long. Love is no longer willing to stay silent, and neither are the secrets waiting in the shadows. The doors of high society open once again, and with them returns a world built on looks, manners, and quiet judgment. Carriages line the streets, arriving one by one, each carrying hope, pressure, and expectation. Inside grand halls, laughter sounds light, but every smile is measured, every glance is noticed. In this world, nothing is ever truly casual. Every step forward is a statement. The social season is not just a time for celebration, it is a test. Young men and women are placed on display, not by choice, but by tradition. They are watched, compared, and spoken about in voices that drop low the moment they pass by. A simple conversation can shape a future. A single mistake can follow someone forever. Here, reputation is more valuable than gold. Mothers plan carefully. Fathers observe in silence. Friends become rivals without meaning to. Everyone plays their part because refusing to play comes at a cost. The rules are old, but they are strong. Who you speak to, how long you stand beside them, and even how you smile can change how the ton decides your worth. Freedom exists, but only in very small spaces. Balls return with bright lights and perfect music. Dances bring people close enough to feel a breath, but never close enough to speak freely. Hands touch briefly, then pull away. Eyes meet, then look. Elsewhere, these moments are short, yet they carry more meaning than hours of polite talk. In these rooms, feelings must hide behind tradition, even when they are too strong to ignore. As the season unfolds, one thing becomes clear. Not everyone is here for the same reason. Some want safety, some want status, some want love, even if they pretend they do not. And some are simply tired of pretending. The social season promises beauty and order, but it also invites chaos. Because when too many hearts are forced to follow rules they never chose, something is bound to break. In a world that celebrates perfection, there are those who learn how to disappear. They stand in crowded rooms yet feel unseen, listening more than they speak, watching life unfold from the edges. For years, they have learned the value of silence. Not because they lack thoughts or feelings, but because no one ever asked to hear them. This season, however, silence begins to feel heavier than ever before. Love does not always arrive with confidence. Sometimes it grows quietly, hidden behind kindness and patience. It waits in long looks that are quickly turned away. It lives in moments that mean everything to one heart and nothing to anyone else. In this world, love that does not demand attention is often forgotten, but forgotten does not mean weak. One soul has spent years believing they were meant to stand aside, never at the center. never chosen first. They learned to smile when others were praised. They learned to step back when others stepped forward. They told themselves that being unnoticed was easier than being disappointed. Yet this season changes something, a shift so small at first. It almost goes unnoticed. Almost out across the room stands another heart, one shaped by duty and expectation. Someone raised to believe that feelings must always come second. Someone taught that love is a reward, not a choice. Their life has followed a clear path, planned long before they had the chance to want anything different. But even the strongest rules begin to shake when they meet something real. Their connection is not loud. It does not demand attention. Grows in shared silence, in understanding looks, in moments that pass too quickly. It is built on comfort rather than performance, and that is what makes it dangerous. Because love like this cannot be controlled. It does not follow the rules of society, and it does not ask for permission. The closer they grow, the more aware they become of the risks. In this world, love is never just between two people. It belongs to families, reputations, and endless opinions. Every step toward happiness feels like a step toward trouble. Every stolen moment carries both warmth and fear. They know what could happen if they are seen. And still, they cannot stop. Doubt creeps in quietly. One wonders if they are enough, if they were ever meant to be chosen. The other wonders if wanting more is selfish, if desire is worth the cost. They circle these thoughts alone, unable to speak them aloud, because admitting the truth would mean admitting they want something that may never be allowed. Around them, the season moves forward without mercy. Engagements are discussed. Matches are encouraged. Expectations tighten like invisible chains. And yet, in the middle of all this noise, their bond grows stronger, not because it is easy, but because it is honest. For the first time, they are not pretending. This love does not promise safety. It does not promise approval. What it offers instead is truth, and truth, once felt, cannot be forgotten. No matter how hard they try to return to who they were before, something has already changed. A door has opened inside their hearts, and it refuses to close. Every season has its beauty, but it also has its shadows. Behind every careful smile is a thought left unspoken. Behind every polite greeting is a truth carefully hidden away. In this world, secrets are not rare, they are necessary. They are carried in folded letters, locked drawers, and memories no one dares to share. But secrets have a way of growing restless. What begins as a small silence soon becomes a heavy weight, a letter written but never sent, a feeling buried too deep, a decision delayed for fear of consequence. These quiet choices do not disappear. They wait, they listen, and when the time is right, they demand to be noticed. This season, too many secrets are waiting at once. Whispers travel faster than expected, a look held for 1 second too long, a dance shared too closely, a pattern others begin to notice. In the 10, nothing is ever truly private. Walls have ears, rooms remember, and people talk sometimes without meaning harm, sometimes with every intention to cause it. What is hidden today becomes tomorrow's scandal. There is power in knowing what others do not, and there is danger in being known too well. Some protect their secrets out of fear. Others use secrets as weapons, trading them for status or control. In this world, information is currency, and silence is never free. Every truth carries a price, whether spoken or not. As the season unfolds, pressure builds quietly. The more people try to protect their image, the more fragile it becomes. Lies begin to overlap, stories change, trust becomes uncertain. Even those with the best intentions find themselves trapped between honesty and survival. Because telling the truth may feel right, but it rarely feels safe. And somewhere among the rustle of paper and the scratch of ink, a presence remains, always watching, always listening, turning whispers into words and moments into stories. No secret stays small for long, not when someone is paying attention, not when society is hungry for something to discuss. This season is not just about love or ambition. It is about what happens when truth refuses to stay hidden, when silence breaks when secrets finally step into the light. And once they do, nothing can return to the way it was before. Asterisk, in a world where everyone is seen, there is still someone who remains unseen. While the ton dances beneath bright lights and perfect manners, another presence moves quietly through the gaps, watching, listening, remembering. This presence does not need to be invited into the room. It is already there, hidden in pauses, glances, and unfinished thoughts that no one knows exactly when the words are written. They simply appear, as if the city itself decided to speak. Pages pass from hand to hand, and suddenly every secret feels heavier. What was once a private moment now feels exposed. What was once a harmless choice now feels dangerous. Because when the truth is told out loud, even in ink, it can no longer be ignored. This voice does not shout. It does not accuse, it observes. It waits patiently for people to reveal themselves without even realizing it. A raised eyebrow, a sudden absence, a change in behavior. All of it is noticed. All of it matters in a society built on image. Being truly seen is the greatest risk of all. Some fear this voice, some pretend not to care. Some secretly wait for its words, hoping to be mentioned, hoping to matter. Because silence can feel worse than judgment. To be ignored is to be invisible. And this voice has the power to make anyone visible, whether they are ready or not. Yet this presence is not cruel without reason. It does not create scandal, it reveals it. The truth already exists. The voice merely holds up a mirror and lets the tongue look at itself. And what it sees is not always pleasant, but it is honest. As the season moves forward, the power of this unseen observer grows stronger. Each new revelation tightens the tension. Each new story changes the balance. Love, ambition, and fear all react to the same force. Because when someone is always watching, every choice becomes dangerous. Asterisk, as the season reaches its height, the space between what is expected and what is desired grows painfully wide. Society continues to move in neat lines, guided by tradition and appearance. But hearts do not follow such order. They pull in directions that rules cannot control. And when that pull becomes too strong, something must give. For those caught between duty and feeling, every day becomes careful balance. Words are chosen with care. Steps are measured. Even silence is planned. Loving the wrong person or loving at the wrong time can undo everything. Status, family, and future all hang in the balance. Yet the heart does not understand consequences. It only understands truth. There comes a moment when pretending becomes harder than risking everything. A moment when standing still feels worse than falling. For some, that moment arrives in a crowded ballroom, surrounded by music and movement, yet feeling completely alone. For others, it comes in quiet spaces, where honesty has nowhere left to hide. Choosing love in this world is not a soft choice. It is bold. It is frightening. It asks for courage where obedience once lived. And not everyone is ready to make it. Some step back, choosing safety over happiness. Others step forward, knowing the cost but willing to pay it. Both choices leave marks that do not fade easily. As eyes turn and whispers grow louder, the weight of judgment becomes impossible to ignore. One decision can shift how the entire ton responds. Applause can turn into silence, approval into doubt. The line between acceptance and rejection is thin, and crossing it changes everything. Yet even under such pressure, love remains. It does not disappear when denied. It waits, it endures, and sometimes it demands to be chosen, no matter the risk, because a life lived only for others eventually feels empty. Asterisk, every story reaches a moment where waiting is no longer possible. The music slows, the lights soften, and the choices that were once delayed must finally be faced. This season has carried longing, silence, and restraint that it was never meant to end quietly. What has been hidden now stands on the edge of discovery. Truths whispered in shadows begin to find their way into the open. Hearts that learn to wait are asked to decide. Stay within the lines drawn by society, or step beyond them and accept whatever follows. There is no safe middle anymore. For some, the season brings reward. For others, it brings loss. But for all, it brings change. Because once feelings are acknowledged, they cannot be undone. Once courage is found, it cannot be forgotten. The tongue may move on, but those who dare to feel will never be the same. London will continue to sparkle. Balls will continue to fill. The night with music and motion. But beneath the beauty, something deeper has shifted. Power has moved, love has spoken, and the rules that once felt unbreakable now show their cracks. This season does not promise comfort, it promises truth. It asks who we become when we stop pretending and start choosing. And when the final dance ends, only one thing is certain: asterisk.